What's up, everybody? Every time I always say that I'm not gonna film and I'm working on this car, I realize that I have to film what I'm doing because of the process that it takes, and probably not everyone um, would be able to do it. So I said, okay, I'll just do it just in case there's somebody who needs help with something like this. Now, I recently installed a sound system, and then when I'm playing my music, I realize that the music would tend to go up and down and up and down. And I took my multimeter and I did a test, and I realized that my voltage was fluctuating. So, what I intend to do now is to install the Big 3 upgrade kit so that my wires will be able to handle the voltage load that is needed for the amplifiers, because I switched from 1 to 2 amplifiers. So I think that's the reason why I'm having that voltage fluctuation. I tested all my grounds were good. So the next best option is fix the car's voltage so that it can be able to handle the power required from the alternators. So I was considering buying a Big 3 upgrade kit, but the Big 3 upgrade kits, they are either 3 feet or 4 feet long. And as you guys can see from this cable, it is way longer than 3 feet, or even way longer than 4 feet. So I had to go and buy all the raw materials. I had to go buy the wires. I had to go buy all the lug terminals, and I also went on Amazon and I picked up these two new battery terminals as well. So first thing you have to do is, as always, take off the engine cover. I gotta go clean all this stuff. Like, I cleaned it and I don't know how to get back in there. So take off the engine cover, which is just these three. You twist it and then the engine cover will pop off. And then what you would do is this fuse box location here, you just pop it off. There are these tabs in the front, just push it up and it pops off. And then you'll see that there's this 120 amp fuse for the vehicle's electrical power. This one to this side goes down to your alternator, so it goes down there to the alternator. And then this one is the one that loops around, which is this, that loops around all the way over to the other side over there. One goes to your battery, the other one goes to the inside of the car. All you have to do is take these bolts off. I tried to do it with a screwdriver, but they were on there so tight I ended up had to just use a ratchet. They're 8mm sockets, and you just take it off. So what I'm gonna do now, I already separated took off the electrical tape and realized there are two wires into one here. There are two wires into one, so I gotta take off this shielding, and I want to see if I can be able to take this off and separate it and be able to use this again, because as you can see, it has a 90-degree bend in it and the lug terminals don't. So I either would have to bend my lug terminal, or I would have to try to see if I can get this off. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get this off first, and then see if I can. If not, I'll have to just try to bend the lug terminals 90 degrees and see how that works. So when I get this whole cable off, I gotta see how the wires run, because when you get to this point, as you can see, one wire goes down here and then this other wire goes into this small fuse box here. So I need to see which wire is for what, so I gotta cut this whole shielding. Don't worry, I already bought new shielding already for this, so I'll cut this, see which wire goes down to the battery, and know which wire I have to cut off, and then see which wire goes to this fuse block. So after I do that, I will get back to you guys. Hey guys, I am back. I got the whole shielding off, and as you can see here, this one goes to the fuse block, and then this one goes down towards the battery. As for the connector, I won't be able to do it. As you can see, it is crimped really strong. So whatever they use to crimp it, it's crimped really strong. So what I'll have to do is the wire going out to go into the battery, I have to cut it, and then what I'll have to do is I'll just have to take the lug terminal and just basically bend it over the top of this. Bend it over the top of this, and hopefully it just stays, it bolts in anyway. So I'll just have to bend the lug terminal without snapping it, because that would be interesting. So I'm gonna try to do that now. Try to bend the terminal before I do anything else and see how that works out. Hey guys, sorry about that. My neighbor came over and distracted me for a while. Let me show you guys the progress that I made while I was there talking to him. As you can see, I was able to salvage this, and let me show you how I made it work, because I have to do the same for the alternator. What I did was I was able to open this prong, and then I cut the wire. The insulation, sorry. I cut it, and then I spliced the wire into this whole joint. Then I closed it in, and then I put shielding over it, and then I did electrical tape. So as you can see, I have my shielding up here, and then I have my other plastic shielding that will go across the whole top where the original wire ran. I forgot to mention, I bought 15 feet of 0 gauge wire, because I knew it would take a good amount. So I came and I got down to the point where the 2 wires spliced. I have to clean up here a little bit because this piece of wire here is still exposed a little. And then I ran the other wire down and brought it to here where you see I have my new battery terminal there. And then I just connected my sound system fuse back to this. And then when I got to here, I only had 2 8-gauge holes. So what I did is I just reused an old lug terminal. Sorry, the heat has me losing my train of thought. So I used an old lug terminal for this wire that goes down towards the starter motor. So that's basically how that goes. And now I just have to work out the alternator, which is over there. I'm gonna work on that, and then I just have my engine ground, which is here, and then it goes down to the wire, and then you see it ends right here. That's my engine ground. If you need to know where it is, just below the oil filler cap, it is right there. And then my battery ground is just here. It's a short piece of wire that goes here, and I already have a secondary battery terminal for that. So after I finish up my alternator, I will I forgot how I got the wire off. So I just came here. As you can see, I tested a lug terminal to make sure that it will fit, and then down there is the alternator. You see the lug where it screws on. It is a 12 millimeter, and then you're gonna have to get a 10 millimeter here that holds the wire in, and then at the side here you're gonna have another section where it clips onto, and down in there there's another section where it clips onto. And once you pop those off, you get the wire out. So again, I'll catch you guys in a few when I finish doing the new alternator cabling. Alright guys, so alternator has been done. So you can see the wire there at the bottom, and it is connected and everything. I cut that a little bit too short, but it should be okay. I'm gonna you know what, I'm gonna splice on another piece onto this just to be on the safe side, and just to make sure everything is proper and all the wires are protected and everything like that, seeing as how it's so close to the engine. But as you can see, ran the wire ran under there, comes to there, and it is up into there. Let me take this off. I'd already started putting, so you see, runs up into there. That's the alternator. And I also ran this wire from over there all the way here, down under there, routed it through, and it is now here. And I already put on the bolts back on. So all I have to do now is just push this in here and then slide these in like that, and that's it for this section. So let me just put this back on. So that is done. So now all the whole power section is completed. So as you can see, alternator to fuse all the way over to battery. Most cars this would have been so much easier because it's just one cable and there's an inline fuse, but Honda just wants to make it difficult. As I was saying, most cars it's simple because you just have the one cable from the alternator to the battery, and then you have an inline fuse. But Honda just wants to make it difficult and put the actual alternator wire to the fuse. So I guess it's a little bit easier, so that if a fuse blows, you just go replace the fuse and then you're good to go. So it was a little bit of pain in the butt, but I got that part done. Hardest part is done now. The simpler part is there to be done, which is the grounds. The grounds are pretty simple. I'm not even gonna videotape the grounds because it's simple. It's a simple process. You just disconnect from here, disconnect from there, and that's it for your engine ground. Battery ground, disconnect from here, and then you have to cut this wire. You're gonna have to cut these two wires and then just connect the two ends to there, and then one end that goes here. I'm gonna have to take a wire wheel and clean this up a little so that you can actually have a good ground connection to the battery and to the engine as well. So yeah, after I'm finished doing all of those, I'll come back and I'll show you guys a completed process with everything connected, and test to make sure everything works. I'm back guys, sorry for taking so long, but again my neighbor came and distracted me again. He was asking me about filling up his car with antifreeze. He's an older guy and stuff like that, so I always just indulge him. Yeah, but I'm finally totally done. The only ground that I have left to do from the big three is my engine ground. I have not done that yet, but I will do that tomorrow, because like it's super hot today and I'm dead tired now after all this. But everything went fine. Here is my battery ground. I have to finish this up tomorrow because I have to go and get some dielectric grease for there to use it. So yeah, that's about it. Um, side is upgraded, ground side's upgraded. So yeah, that's all about it. It's honestly not that difficult. It's a little bit labor intensive because of the extra routing that you gotta take. But other than that, it's actually a pretty nice and calming job, and anybody can do it. It's not hard to get your raw materials. I went to a electronics store close to my house, and they have um, a bunch of different stuff, such as car parts and both home and car audio and video. So I got all my raw materials. I got my cable and everything from there. The only thing is that I forgot to get um, a second lug for the engine ground. That's why I'm not doing it today. But I'll go get that tomorrow and I'll just do it. It's probably just a 5-minute job, so it's not that difficult of a process. But yeah, that's it. You guys can comment in the section, subscribe, like, and let me know if there are more videos that you need to see me do on the Honda Pilot. um, I did my fluids, so my engine oil, my transmission oil, transfer case, and differential. If you need any tips, the only reason I didn't film is because there's a lot of videos online already. But if you need me to go over and do it, shoot me a comment, and I would gladly go over and show you guys how I get that done. But again, until the next project, catch you guys later.